Hi, welcome to Texas Lone Wolf 73 channel. Now, in this picture is a man and a woman. They love each other. Of course, on the other side of the bench is another woman holding that man's hand. So this is a story from Reddit called Surviving Infidelity. Arkeller is the main author, and right now I'm going to go ahead and cover this. Let's go ahead and take that off. And remember, on this cursor, don't forget to smash that like button or dislike button. And let's get into it, shall we? Alright, this was posted 2 years ago. We're going to go over this. Arkeller is the author of this. Alright. Now, this is a woman writing a husband have a month-long affair with sister 20 years old. The female is 35. The husband 36. Okay? Now, this is a female who is writing about infidelity in the Reddit. She's ranting. Alright? Let's cover this. I posted something about this here before, end up deleting the post one day, because way where husband found the post. Well, hey. The affected wife needs somebody to vent to. So this is the only way she can get it off her chest. To the wayward husbands that go out and try to have their cake and eat it. I'm not trying to be hard on you. But hey, you go out, mess with someone younger than your wife. In the first place, why did you tie the knot with a woman in the first place, and you're going to go cheat on her with her sister, who is 20 years old? That is double family betrayal. And if the mom and dad is alive, and they see you, and you did the deed like this to two sisters, I don't know what the parents will do. Alright? Now let's move on, shall we? So, after the, and it just, I didn't attempt to conceal my name or throw away account. I've just blocked him and his family. Because LDRK, who else talk about this stuff? Here I am again. It's been a little over 3 weeks. And this has been posted 2 years ago. This has been posted in 2023. Alright? It's been a little over 3 weeks. For the worst part, my friends and family don't check in with me regularly. She's tired of thinking about it, tired of talking about it, but can't get away from it. Well, who can blame her? Who can blame this affected woman? She can't get away from that idea that her husband cheated on her with her sister, who is 20 years old. All right? So right now, fast forward, sister is 22. All right? Now, over here, she wrote, he moved out the weekend before last. I'm feeling some relief not having him in sight. Well, she looks at him. She reminds him of the affair. Okay? Now, men and women in their 30s, they call them the fiery 30s. They are going to do things. They're going to go to clubs. They're going to get drunk. They're going to drink and drink and drink alcohol until they get drunk. And then y'all know the rest of the details. So you know the rest of the details. And I just want to go ahead and let me go ahead and say this real quick. Let me get this off my chest real quick. If you drink alcohol it's a it does something to you in spirit. They call it spirits. It can affect misjudgment on one person's part. And sometimes it could turn that switch on for attraction that's forbidden, so to speak. So let's go ahead and continue on, shall we? He moved out the weekend before last. I'm feeling the relief not having him inside all the time. I'm also overwhelmed with having been thrown into the single parenthood. So obviously, this woman had children by the man that had an affair with her sister. Single parenthood so suddenly and unexpectedly. I feel like I don't have the space to grieve properly because I have the hearts of my children to look after. Oh no. But this man wants this cake and eat it by getting this one woman pregnant and then messing with her sister. I don't know what that man's thinking, but you would think, a common sense, a man would just be there for his kids and his wife. Not going out and sampling the candy before he buys it, which, by the way, that's what the story is talking about, so to speak. Now, I got a lot of feedback on my OP, most of it useful and thoughtful, some of it not so much. Well, she's balancing out the positive and the negative right here. I'm sure that is not everyone who find themselves reading this post would have to read it, the last one. But I did not want to. But I did want to add a little bit of context for those who did. So I don't know what the deal is. My husband and sister did not grow up around each other, so I'm not really concerned with the grooming aspect. At least not in a long-term sense. Growing up, I lived with my mother. She lived with our father. She was only 3 when I moved out of the house, 6 by the time he and I got married. And being our Mill family made visits infrequent, and I usually go alone. So this here is our clue. She's an introvert. He never met her 2 or 4 times at all before she moved to the same city as us last year. Her version is that. Now, I just want to go ahead and clarify some things here. Now, let me go ahead and highlight this where I'm reading. Her version is that she was victimized by him. I don't believe that. I know it sounds incredibly messy not to believe someone claimed to be the victim. But by the way, this is her sister's version of what she's writing down. I do want to clarify some things here. Number one, I do believe that she has been a victim in many, bedroom fun relationships she has had with much older men. And she seeks these relationships as a result of some deep-seated traumas from her childhood. However, she has always entered into these relationships consensually. Did you get that? Consensually. And never consider herself a victim of these men. So naturally, younger women are drawn to older men. I'm not excusing her husband's behavior. All right. Now, should these men have been known better? I think they should. They should be focusing on building their own castle and kingdoms. And if they get a woman pregnant with some offspring, they should look after the kids because the kids needs a father. Okay? Now, did they still engage in inappropriate relationships during her citing her consent as gross justification? You know she did. Absolutely. So while yes, I believe my husband was the one who should have been responsible for managing the relationship as a much older player. Now, he should have been keeping his in his pants. And cleaving to his wife as one, because the kids need a mother and a father. And this is how broken homes breed cheating and infidelity in this modern world, so to speak. Now, and I also do not believe she ever felt victimized by him, but now claims she has to earn my sympathy and forgiveness. Now, not all home wreckers come from outside sources. Did you know that? Now, home wreckers can be family members. Don't ask me why, but usually that is the case. Now, that man has self-control. If he can't control himself, then he don't need to be around younger females. Now, like I say, this here is his version that she sought him even prior to their first exchange. I don't believe that. Then began indirectly threatening him that she would tell the oldest sister that their relationship didn't continue. So that tells me she was coercing him to give in. He was also very drunk the first time, and then she had nothing to drink, according to him, initiated the encounter. Now, drunk men can't control themselves. And women who get alcohol in their systems affects their ability to self-control. Now, things that this wayward wife knows is she sent her friend request to his FetLife account 5 days prior to the first encounter. She sent a friend request to the BILS social media account. It contained multiple nude photos. And I believe she at least fantasized about him. And if she didn't actually plan to initiate the sexual contact, the physical contact, clothes coming off, and you know how everything else goes. Let me tell you, folks, alcohol is a strong drug. It's a legal drug. And it costs divorce cases to mount. And it costs us affairs to blossom. It's just giving you a heads up. It costs us affair to blossom. You do not want to. And if you have to drink alcohol, do it in front of your spouse. I mean, it's very important. Now, will I ever know the truth of what happened and why? Probably not. IDK means I don't know if they both lying. Which you know they're both lying. All it takes that one time for that guy to get her sister pregnant with a kid, and then he's going to have to pay child support on his divorced wife and her 2 kids and his sister-in-law's kid. And you know who the victim's going to be in this? The children. Because mama and daddy don't know how to maintain self-control and decency to look at the welfare of the children that are affected by this. Not only cheating creates victims in marriages and causes divorces, the children pays the price on this. The children pays the price. From society stigma to ostracization. They can't help being brought up in this world by dysfunctional adults who don't know how to maintain self-control. Oh, and get this. Also, update the ad. I did tell my children on the advice of my therapist. Oh, now she's in therapy. The children are very close with their aunts. Uh-oh. What did I see? They're close with their aunt. And this one couldn't be as easily managed by omitting why our divorce. Then there was a fear that would come later in an uncontrolled way that I would have to create a story around why their aunt is no longer in their lives. It felt like the only thing to do is tell them enough of the truth, and it's been really hard. Let me tell you something. This is really a messed up picture as per se. Now, I don't know if you recall me making a video about you cannot have 2 women in a household. Now, the OP actually backed me up. Let me read this. Her name is arkeller, OP, 2 years ago, in 2023. When she told me about everything, she admitted that she hated me at that time. At time it started. Now she says that he initiated and she was groomed. No, she wasn't groomed. She's old enough to know better, and that is the youngest sister who admitted to hating her oldest sister to break up a home. Now imagine having that stigma added to the youngest sister. And when the kids are growing up, they're going to say, there's an aunt home wrecker out there. So, and told by how awful I was, I believe that part is true. He often vented about me in inappropriate outlets, a company. Now, this is in her words. All right, and felt like he was her best friend. Let me tell you, you cannot be best friends with another wife's youngest sibling. You can't be best friends. I'll tell you why, because anything can happen in the dark between 2 consenting individuals and will have a lasting impact with a stigma attached. Let's get back to this, shall we? And enjoy that was a secret and very likely enjoyed. She spent every weekend at our house during that time. Ooh. Probably did it in her marriage bed. That is a big no-no. Our relationship is strained for some time. Slowly, we became close. I think I think things started to change for her. She felt guilty what she had done and confessed, and now I think she's trying to salvage whatever she can by telling a story that she can live with. She got caught. You cannot have your cake and eat it. You cannot do this and to get by with it. I think she did an awful thing and did it with an intention. I think she may even have convinced herself she's a victim. She ain't the victim. I don't buy this. I don't think I'll be able to forgive her as of now. Well, I don't blame that wayward, that affected wife that filed for divorce. I don't blame her for not forgiving her sister and telling her kids that aunt cannot come around or be trusted. I think that is going to be a very rocky start. And I have no plans to be in her presence or allow my children to be. I mean, once they're adults, the decision will be theirs to make. So let's go down to another response. She posted somewhere on Reddit at that point asking people perspective on relationship. She said she swapped their gender roles, and most feedback she was given that she would be groomed and abused. And I don't buy that. Now, it's really sad. A young sibling destroyed a marriage. And look at this. You could tell this is rubbing salt into the wound right here. Yeah, it would have been January, February time frame. That was 2 years ago. She told me last month. She posted it and then removed it because she knew I had an account and was scared. Scared of what? Family put their drama online like this. And this here is rubbing salt in the wound. Now, most Redditors don't like cheaters. So anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and take a break from this. And let me take this off. Now, this is Texas Lone Wolf 73's notes. All right. Based on what I read here, I read the woman's story. And part of the story actually does not make any sense to me, per se. Maybe the female is really affected by the deep family betrayal. So I want to go ahead and emphasize that homewreckers don't necessarily have to be best friends that knows everything about you. It can be a family. It can be a cousin. It can most definitely be someone you know that is, you wrap your arm around, y'all walk and talk, share deep secrets. This betrayal right here is really, really so far the most anyways. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and read the other one. Let me go ahead and close out the notes, and I'm gonna read the now. Arkeller has posted on why the truth matters. Let's go ahead and dig in it, shall we? Why the truth matters so much. This is rant 2 years ago. Despite the Redditors insistent I'm just pain shopping. Okay? I can't help but want to know everything that happened. Not as much as intimate details of each encounter, but feelings and motivations on parts of both wayward husband and sister. Alrighty. My sister insists my wayward husband is a predator and a groom and manipulator. I ain't bought into that story, alright? Who was loaning her for money while she was out of work and felt obligated to continue her affair. What kind of affair could this be? A physical affair? Emotional affair? Probably all of them combined. Just to be clear, she didn't lose her job until after her first encounter. My wayward husband insists that my sister was basically a sociopath who baited and pursued him. Well, according to this sentence, I may not have been there, but they pursued each other. Yeah, and men in their upper 30s want something younger. And this can happen when his wife have kids. Their looks start to change. They start changing slightly after 35. Now now I'm going to go ahead and read on. I got a funny feeling that this is going to be a long video. And I need you to understand that this video is meant to bring awareness that not homewreckers are just casual friends, or it can be family members, cousins, sisters, aunts, uncles, you name it. So, and anyways, so the sister wanted him to leave his wife for her, made subtle threat that she would tell the oldest sister if the affair didn't continue. Now that looks fishy right there. So the divorced woman does not trust her own sister. Now I can see she has trust issues and she got children to have to tend to. She broke up the home. It's so difficult for me to believe that either of these two I love and known so well, either predator or manipulative sociopath. Both are coming down hard on me for not believing their individual versions. Basically, both of them are gaslighting the affected woman right here. This is manipulation. And are not allowing me all that much grace or understanding. Listen, if a man cheats on a woman, the woman takes it the hardest, especially when their sister's involved. So, anyways, and when it comes to her inability to detect or know the truth. Right now, the affected woman's in denial right now in this story. Now, I think right now it feels difficult for me to know how to process everything and begin to heal if I can't even really understand why it all happened in the first place. I'm trying to process a version that is most digestible to me. But it don't mean all is accurate at all. She's right. My sister said she could provide me any evidence that she could and help me see a full picture. She's a manipulator all along. Remember, two females cannot be best friends or best pals. I'm just telling you, this is really raw. But when I ask for specific things, she would become mad that I don't need proof. There it is. And I must not believe her. When I did ask my wayward husband for details on specific questions, or even just seem angry in his presence, he tells me he just can't do this, that I'm rubbing in his face or making my punching bag and keep making threats to unalive himself. He's been in this mess since January. As of today, I've known about less than a month. I'm still in the earliest stage of processing it at all and figuring out what me and my children's new lives look like. Learned how to navigate all these difficult legal stuff. That's divorce proceedings, I'm guessing, and visitation, what have you. I had no prior experience with carrying all of my personal and professional lives while simultaneously carrying all of the heaviness of an emotional burden around with me. Not only that, the woman has physical weight to carry her kids' well-being, has to go to work, has to maintain everything. This is painful. And still, neither of them seem to understand my anger or inability to trust anything they say. Now, she's in a state of denial right here. Now, they have centered themselves in this, completely forgotten about what they've done to me and my children and how long our journey to sort out this grief would take. I'm just so angry. Well, I would be angry too. I could deal with the sadness, but this rage feels like it might consume me. And if any men are listening to this, take precedent in your woman's listening capability because she depends on you. If you don't take care of her, she'll cut you loose and heal on her own. Now, according to this story right here, that right in front of me, this is really brutal. So I really believe the sister actually broke the marriage. And so forth. This is, I mean, now, here it is, talking about the divorce proceedings are underway. The wayward husband fixing to be the ex-husband. And according to this, the affected wife washed her hands of all the mess. The betrayals, gaslighting, made herself feel like she's crazy. Now, the true victims in this are the kids. They don't have a daddy to go play ball with outside or spend time with. The daddy just, I don't know what he could have told his wife and they would have got the law to take care of the young sister. But this sounds like a dysfunctional family to me. But I believe that this mother is trying to protect her children and break that dysfunctional curse. And remember, if you could break the family cycle, you are one tough cookie. So let's read on here. I mean, you're writing all of that. None of it changed the outcome. That's right. There's no such chance of reconciliation. Divorce proceedings were already underway. I intend to remain no contact with my sister indefinitely as well. There it is. You see it? Everything didn't mean telling me they both lying, but one of them actually being honest. Then I do think that it's important to know. Because this affair is complicated since it involves both father of my children and a family member. The sister actually admitted she hated her oldest sister. Everything in me tells me, okay, now, even if I can never forgive my sister, perhaps my children will want to someday. I think there is a possibility for that. If my wayward husband actually predatory, I have to maintain some sort of relationship forever. So what? She's actually a master manipulator, and he made a series of terrible choices. Not because he was indifferent to me. I think his intention was more important when it comes to question whether we're equivalent to the worst things we ever done. I think that moving forward, outstanding those intentions will help me process the betrayal and what it means for my relationship with the father of my kids. I think what she's telling you in this story is she's trying to maintain a civil relationship with the father of their kids. I don't think I'll actually know the truth. I mean, I highly blank and doubt it. And I am not seeking any additional information from either of them. Those conversations have come to pass already. I already I can't make my mind stop attempting the puzzle altogether. I can't get this thing to shut the hell up and be for a while. So yes. Now, take a look. That's what it looks like. Now, here's my notes. Based on that story I just read, in her version, the marriage is pretty well done. The marriage is done. I mean, and I believe that she has actually said that her husband, lacks self-control to avoid the sneakiness of a family member to break up a marriage. In other words, he don't have a backbone. Now, 2 years ago, that divorce proceeding was underway, according to that story. Now, I'm fixing to go ahead and find 2 or 3 days ago where she updated. And Now, I found it, and let's go ahead and bring it up, shall we? Now, this was updated 3 days ago. Arkeller just updated this post 3 days ago. All right. Now, let's go ahead and read it, shall we? Progress. Now, hello everyone. I know this content in the group can be devastating and heavy, but so many of these posts are created in the worst days of actual people's lives. Every now and then I got myself to read a post like this one. I'm currently writing, so it was steadily reminding me things will get better. This comes from a woman's perspective, the affected mother of her children. 2 years ago, I never imagined I would be where I'm at now, or who I am now. Don't think much of an exaggeration to say it was forged by fire, walked through flames, immeasurable grace. Last 2 years were hard, especially because after putting tireless effort into my healing, see, she healed from this. In that first year, my oldest daughter received cancer diagnosis with a frightening prognosis, spent majority of that year in treatment. She's recently in remission. In the past 2 years, I have spent countless hours of therapy. She sought therapy by being betrayed by her ex-husband, divorced her wayward husband, remained no contact with her sister, reckon with the child's morality. That's after the cancer diagnosis. Nearly finished my Psych NP program, nurse practitioner program. Moved from Arizona to North Carolina and found a way to forgive my wayward husband, or ex-husband per se. Rediscover who she is outside of identities of wife and a mother. Bought a house. She did all this here by herself. She went no contact with her sister. Her sister broke up the family. I'm also working on compiling things I've written over the 2 years. And some of that were posted right here on Reddit, publishing them as an anthology in grief, betrayal, completing a bucket list, such as part of my healing journey, which is, she's on a healing journey. Nothing ever make what happened anything less terrible. I'm okay. No, I'm happy. At times, I worry I can never feel small or large joys again. I do every day. In wise words, absolutely genius, cutie Noah Cahan. Don't let the dareness fool you. All lights turn off can be turned on. So, what she did is bought a house, and her oldest daughter's in remission with cancer diagnosis. And so let's go ahead and see what did her sister destroy. My sister's still young and hot, living her best single life in Virginia Beach now. She's, I don't need to know the other part. She's the same. She's into women right now, as well as apparently. So I'm glad she took out a 15-year marriage on her way out to that discovery. Her eyes roll. Her ex is still single, has not dated at all, still regularly pouts anytime he gets peek into my life and goes on. He gained a fair bit of weight. At least he's therapy finally. I don't know whether it's helping. I'm thinking in this context, he regret losing a 15-year marriage over a fling with a young sister or a sister-in-law. Just I never considered staying with him, even at my lowest. We'd be able to recover from that. The thing is, you will recover from this, but you're going to have to be there for your children. Remember, the oldest daughter has cancer. It's in remission. So you're going to have to thank the Most High for that. Thank you for being there at the beginning of my journey and welcome me on my other side, and for sending love and wishes to a sweet girl. She starts high school next year and been an absolute giant throughout the diagnosis and treatment. So, now, and somebody commented on here, and anyways, you're not wrong. I'm happier in place. I'm able to see while he took so much from me, I gained more than I lost. I think the hardest part for me is always what my children lost. They lost their dad. Their dad had no self-control. He could have stopped it. She said they're better off with parents who are happier apart than together. I wish it would happen in a different way, that they would be spared harder parts at least. And a daughter sounds a bit amazing as mine is. Congratulations. Okay, the birth of her son, the first babies are special. All right. It's my oldest won't take it to heart on me. I don't think the second child, they're 11 and I'm already in for it, she said. So she's ready for the next chapter in her life. So I just wanted to say that betrayal comes with a price tag. Now, for the woman, she has to look at the man who betrayed her. She has to see the pain he has cost her. Now, man with a self-control who resists the urge to break up a marriage, he's one strong warrior. Remember, temptation will come from family members. And mark my words, they will come. How a man will deal with it determines the fate of the marriage. Now, let me go ahead and take this. Look at that. Now, here's my notes about this. I like happy endings. The divorce is already finalized. She bought herself a house. Her oldest daughter's cancer is in remission. And I will include the links into the description box. And I wanted to clearly tell you, thank you for taking the opportunity to listen to my story about a woman cheated on, filed for divorce, bought her a house. She moved out of Arizona. Then she moved to North Carolina. Her daughter is doing cancer treatments, and she's in remission. Let's hope that the daughter can get that bad cancer cell out of her and live a healthy, productive life. Now, if you like this video, considering smashing the like button or dislike button and hit that notification bell for more content to be released soon. Thank you, and you have a great day, and peace.